Me personally, I feel like they could be hella aggressive. Whereas like tomboy women, sometimes they be a little more chill. Not all.
I want to have a conversation with you about that, to be honest. I've always wondered, like, yeah, I'll talk to you about that. I be wanting just to know, just because I'm nosy as hell.
You a little nosy, Sean. It's okay.
I am nosy. I'm hella nosy. I like to know people. I like to know things.
I'm pretty nosy myself.
Yeah.
I think that
And you get both. You've experienced both sides, like dating the men and women. So it's like that's a good insight.
Yeah, and I'm only nosy because I want to know. Because there's some things I might not ever do. There's some things I'm just I'm inquiring.
Are the cameras rolling? Because that was already good. Okay. That was good right there too.
What's up? Welcome to another episode of Why You Always Whining. I appreciate you guys for joining me. Appreciate everybody for watching and tapping in. We've been having a lot of fun and really interesting conversations. We're happy to come in here for tap back in for another one. I appreciate you guys joining me, man. We got Stephanie J. She's back with her opinions and perspective on things. Everybody always appreciates her chiming in with her perspective on things. We appreciate you joining us. My guy, Sean Christopher. Appreciate you joining me again, bro. You had a lot of fun the last episode you was on?
Yes, sir, I did.
Appreciate you joining me.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And we have Angelica. I appreciate you joining us, too. We're going to have a lot of fun today.
Yes, it'll be great.
Thank you for joining us. All right, let's jump right into the first one, man. I think the one we, pre-production here, getting ready to do all the topics, I think the one we really want to get into is sex on the first date versus like 2 months in or later on down the line. Does it matter? Do you feel differently about the person? Does it determine like how the relationship is going to go and all of that? Who wants to go first on that one?
Sean?
You gonna throw me out there with that? I think whether it's on first date, to be honest, I think whether it's the first date or the second month or whatever, I think if you aren't clear in what your intentions are, it's like, all right, bet we're gonna do this, and this is what I want. I'm ready to build with you. It can make a whole lot of things cloudy. You know what I mean? I think sometimes jumping the gun, sometimes you could actually mess up a good friendship thinking it's something more, or it can turn into a situationship and you think it's a real relationship. And it's like, when things don't work, it's like, damn, I lost a real good friend. Like, you a good person, but you start seeing the flaws of certain things. But yeah, I think to me, whether it's sex on the first date or the second month, it can be really cloudy. Now, if I can be very vulnerable and open, it's not like I'll be wanting to do it, but the fact that things get blocked off, I'm grateful for those moments too, because I've lost good friends, and they ended up becoming relationships or situationships, and I lost good friends. I was like, damn. So I try not to, even though,
Now those friends, were they already friends before you guys engaged in anything like physical?
Usually it's not. Let's be honest. Usually it's not. Folks just be wanting to just, this person's fine and this person's handsome, and if something happens, then something happens, and then
so
here we are.
So are you more so saying it would have been a good friend had you not?
Hell yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Absolutely. I think a lot of times, I don't think nobody up in here is a virgin. You know what I mean? And if, I think we probably have more than one partner. But it's like some people, I don't necessarily know if we all are literally friends with people we've been with, but we can be like, yo, that was good people. You know what I mean? And sometimes
I see.
You can cross the line. It's like, damn, you've seen everything about that person, and sometimes you have to like navigate through life and be like, all right, cool. We had some good moments, but the negative outweighs the positive, even if the positive is more than the negative. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
So that's just my little outlook on it.
I hear you. How you feeling, Angelica?
I feel like it definitely matters, and it's more so just to piggyback off of what you're saying, like your intention and being clear. And sometimes, also what you said was like, if they're just they want to build with you, or if they just want to have sex. And sometimes I feel like people don't always know how to be completely honest about that, or at least they're not in a space to really know what their intention is with the person, especially if you just like meet the person now, or it's your first time like really engaging with them. It's like, how can you gauge what you want? I think it's the next step is to be like, okay, let's go on a date, let's hang out, and from there, like if you're both obviously if it's mutual and it's something you both want, whether it's the first date or this like 2 months in, it matters as much as you make it matter. So if it, because I feel like people take not sex too seriously, but it's more like people, or at least for me, from what I experience, is like if I want to, I'm going to. If I don't, like I don't. And so it's more so like who I'm engaging with, what it is that I want from this person, and again, my intention and how honest I feel I can be, and how honest I feel like the person is being to me, like what's being reciprocated. So it matters as much as you make it matter. If that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like I don't like to think too much into it because, like I said, sex is definitely important in a relationship, and I'm not sure if I'm going to want to build, you're the person I want to build with, like on the first date, first jump. I could be like, oh, you're so attractive and I like your vibe and, you know, like we're cool. But then the sixth date, I'm like, I'm bored, or it's like, oh, I just see you as a friend, you know, like your feelings can be deceitful sometimes, your heart, you know, where your feelings can come from. So it's like you're not always sure, and I feel like I'm someone who likes to move with intention. So getting really to know a person and where I am too is important.
Before we get to you, Steph, let me ask the room. So let's say you know, you've had a situation where you did have sex with someone early on, and then let's say by that sixth date or 2 months later, you find out like, this is not somebody that I want to spend time with. Do you regret having sex with them? Do you regret like crossing that line or going that far with them, or is it just you know, this was an experience I had?
I like to take things as lessons, so I don't ever find myself like, oh, I regret this. But it's more so like I could learn from that. That's like I said, like you don't always know. Like again, not that you don't always know your intention going in, but just so like, yeah, you could see it as one thing one day, and the next day it's like, oh, it's kind of changed depending on, you know, the circumstances, situation. So I would just be like, I don't regret it, but I could learn from it. Yeah, because I mean, it happened. Yeah. Like regretting, harping on that is a lot of energy used.
This happened to me before. So do I regret it? Sometimes. If I could be very honest, because I'm like, and that's what I was saying earlier, I was like, damn, if I wouldn't have, I would have just had you as a good friend, and you know what I mean, I wouldn't have known you that intimate, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, would I do it again? I'll try not to. I'll try not to, but like I said, man, for some odd reason, and I'm grateful for it, it always gets blocked, so I'm cool with it. It's frustrating as hell, but I'm cool with it. I'd rather get to know somebody and be actually friends before something gets cloudy. You know what I mean?
Hey. How you feeling, Steph?
I mean, personally for me, I feel like sex is energy. And so before I give my energy out to people, I just really want to make sure that they are actually good people. I'm personally in a space where I'm like preserving myself and preserving my energy from just like spreading it here, there, and everywhere. So I would prefer to get to know someone. I feel like a lot of people in today's culture, hookup culture is glorified, and so that's something that I don't really want to subscribe to, because there's no emotion, there's no real feeling about it. It's just like about being in that moment. I don't think there's anything wrong with casual sex if you have like a friend with benefits or whatever, and that's just what it is. But when you're dating to like dating for love, dating for marriage, dating for whatever it is that you're trying to build or whatever it is that you see in your future, I think that you're going to be a little more cautious and careful with yourself and your body as well. Also with hookup culture, people are very, very quick to want to jump in the sack with you on the first night, but they don't show no STD results. They don't have no panels, you know. So I think like being responsible and being safe with your body and your energy should be like a top priority.
Well said.
I feel that.
Right?
I feel that too.
I think it more so, I don't know. I kind of agree with the energy thing, but I think it more so just depends on like, you got to be like kind of more so be like a good judge of character, because you know I've experienced people that, you know, they've wanted to get physical early on, and you could feel how you want to feel about this individual, but then you come to find out, no, they're very responsible, and they do, like, you know, try to experience people with intention, and, like, you know. And then I've also met people that are trying to, like, I don't want to say make me wait, but, like, make people wait, which is, you know, commendable, and I'm not, you know, dissing it, but you know, they'd also that it's like you made them wait for what? Because it's like you're also a person that, like, okay, you do that, but then all, like, some of the other things that you do as far as, like, being compatible with someone don't really line up. Like, you're not really the most like, mature person in other spaces, you know what I mean? So it's like, and again, maybe that's not maybe like a fair way to look at things, because it's like, you know, that is sacred, and you do want to, you know, be mature in that respect, but it's like let's like be well-rounded here, I guess, is what I'm trying to say, you know.
So let me ask you, I'm sorry, let me ask you real quick. So the fact that if somebody makes you wait, but they're not mature in certain areas, is that a bad thing? If they have you wait and you be like, okay, you're not mature in this area, you're not mature in that area, this would probably tick me off. This is iffy with you towards, you know what I mean? This makes me feel iffy towards you. Is that a bad thing? I think that it kind of works in your favor if they got you waiting and they on some nonsense.
No, I wouldn't say it's a bad thing, but and again, I don't want to say, like, you know, like giving your body to someone is a big deal.
Absolutely.
It's a big deal for man and woman. It's a big deal, but I don't know. I guess I'm trying not to make it sound like I'm dissing it, you know what I mean? But it's like, okay, like you're doing that, and that is commendable, but what about the other things that go into being a well-rounded person, or like being compatible with somebody else, and aligning with somebody else? Like, you put so much into that, and I respect it, and you should. But, like, let's also, like, think about the other phases of being a good mate and a good person too, I guess, is what I'm saying.
And with that, I think that people that usually are intentional are actually people that are working on themselves as well, and trying to be a better person for that reason. Because I'm pretty sure we've all had a one-night stand, we've all had a hookup, but it's just like being more responsible. That's actually growth. So, and then, you know, just like I said, sex is energy, and if I have sex with you, I want to get nasty. Like, you know, I gotta make sure that, like, you're the person I want to do all of that with, because I don't want you going around telling everybody how I busted it open for you. You know what I mean? So I think there's things that come with that too, and maybe even me with, like, just kind of in my position a little bit. I feel like, you know, I'm out there a little bit, so I don't want, like, people, you know, like, yeah, I had that, she was doing splits, and so, you know what I mean? So things like that, and then also,
She do the splits.
just saying, and then on top of that, when you mentioned, like, being a good person, or, like, you know, or they lack maturity in different areas, that's why I think that being responsible in your sex life is very important, because, like Sean said, it can be in your benefit, because you might develop a little stalker. She might be a little childish. She might key your car because you didn't answer her phone call after you've had sex with her. So I think it's kind of good to make sure that you're getting involved with a person that's emotionally, like, responsible, or I don't know if that's the word I want to use, but, like, when it comes to having sex, like, they can handle that it's just sex right now in the moment, and you might go on a date with somebody else. You might not really want, you know, you're still getting to know one another, so making sure that they can handle that.
Not even with that, like, okay, when we talked the other day down at the spot, right? For me, in this dating thing, it's to me, y'all, is weird. I'm a country boy, so I look at dating really, really different than a lot of other people do. I understand we're older, but it's like, and I get that dating is literally, hey, I can go date this person, this person, this person, this person. I have options, right? I get that, but for me, and this goes on to what I'm saying, is like, if I do give myself to somebody, because I'm not giving myself to everybody. Everybody can't have this. Right. It's not that I'm all that, but I know who I am. You know what I mean? I know what I have. If I decide to give myself to a female, it's like, all right, it's just me and you. And that's what I was trying to say earlier, because it's always it's on my end, it just seems like it's always the women just be playing. It's like, all right, let's do this and that, and then it's like, nope, nah, what the fuck?
Do you feel like a conversation needs to happen before that? Because, like you said, you don't just give yourself to everyone. Because then you might be the only person, but you never know if that woman or that man is out here with, you today, Cindy on Wednesday, Malik on Thursday. So you just never know. So do you feel like that's a conversation that needs to happen before you have sex, or is it like we're just hot in the moment and it went down, and we can still have a conversation after? But do you feel like a conversation
I
needs to
think
be
it
had?
could be either or, but if a conversation is going to be, it needs to be honest, because I know how honest I'm going to be. I know my intentions. If you want to say, "Oh, Sean, you're attractive, you're this, you're that," and it goes there, and then you pull old switcheroo, to me, I'm like, yo, that's kind of throw it off. You know what I mean?
It's a lot to see out here in the world.
And I get that men used to do that.
Still.
And they still do that. But there are ladies that do that too. And I'm just like,
I absolutely agree.
because I'm a dude with intention, and I'm just like, yo, that's kind of, excuse my French, that's kind of fucked up.
It is.
You know what I mean? Like, especially when it comes from me, because I'm like, I want something in life. I'm looking for
Investing your time and energy.
Hell yeah. So if you're just gonna play with me, just tell me the truth. Be honest with yourself and let me know. So I was like, all right, let's stay friends.
I respect that. And then you can decide what you want to do.
Oh, the decision is we're gonna be friends. I don't want to go past that. As bad as, I don't care how bad you are. I don't care how you bust it all open. I'd rather be friends than actually do something and you pull back and I have intentions to do something with you. And it's like, damn. Yeah.
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 Can we put all that in the clip? That whole conversation was lit.
For sure. And with that kind of like piggybacking off of like one of the things you said early on and what you just said, like, aren't we all like, until we're in a relationship, until like we've established that like we're dating someone, like, aren't we all, would you agree, let me pose it that way, would you agree that we're all options, like we're all just options out here?
Do you think that there's a difference between dating and then exclusively dating someone, which would eliminate the options?
Absolutely, there's a difference.
Okay.
Well, and so, okay, so this came from I was having a conversation with someone, and I was saying that I would say exactly what I said. So we're all just options, and she was saying like, nah, I'm not an option. I'm like, well, no, yeah, you are. Like I said, I was like, I mean, you're a pretty woman. Like, I'm sure like there's more than one guy. Like, you're single, you can do what you want. I'm sure there's more than one guy that that you give your time to, whether it's just texting or on the phone or DMing or whatever. There's more than one person that you give your time to. And currently, right now, you're out with me. I was one of those options.
We're all an option until we're a choice.
There you go.
Yeah.
You said we're all options to what?
Until we're a choice.
Good choice.
Now, I think you could be a choice. It's true, but I think you could be a choice today or for right now, and then also
for sure.
be one of the options, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on it. It goes back to intention. Are you guys both aligned on the same path? Like, are we both choosing each other and we're trying to move forward? We're working to move forward together.
Yeah.
So
Kind of like what you said, you start off as an option. Like, you have those options, and then going off from what you said, like, to choose someone every single day, to continuously choose that person, it does. It at least in my eyes, it should eliminate all the other options, and also just like the negative connotation to like, oh, I'm an option, I don't want to be an option, because like we were talking about earlier, is like, it's great to have options, like, oh, I have all these options to all these schools I can go to, I have options to all these food I can try, but when it comes to dating, it's like you don't want to feel like you're an option. People want to be chosen, people want to be seen, and like, I'm the person that this person continuously wants, especially if that's your intention for them. But then, there are times where you see a different side of somebody, and it's like they make you feel like an option based on, all the other baddies and all the other, fine other men that are out there for the other side. So it's just like, okay, people look good. We're not blind. We could see all those things. But if you can, be responsible, you have the discipline, the discernment, like, for yourself, your heart, your mind, like, all of that, like, and you're continuously choosing someone, like, I think that's a beautiful thing. And so from what you said, I feel like we start off as options, because it's like, she chose to be at breakfast with you when she could have been with whoever else, and we want to be chosen continuously. We want, when we make those choices to choose. So.
For sure. How you feeling, Sean? You ain't said nothing yet.
I ain't going to. I agree with the ladies. They right on. I like that bar.
You
Do you like being
Zach?
chosen? Like, do you like someone be like, I choose you. You're the person. Like, if a female was literally like, Sean, like, you're the person I want to be with. I don't have any other options, and like you wholeheartedly believe that. Like, how do you feel? Like, is that a beautiful thing, or is it just like,
absolutely.
nah? Like, I have all these other women. Like, you cool, or like, you know, like, what does that mean to you? Because for me, if I say that to you, that's like, that's my heart. That's vulnerability. That's literally like, yeah, that's me giving of part of myself, part of who I am
agree.
to you. So it's like, how do you take that? Like, what does that mean to men, you know, in this day and age when they have options? What does that mean to them? Like, is that scary? Is that too much? Is that too emotionally aggressive? Because she's like, you know, you're the person I want to be with. Like,
Men are different.
Great question.
That is a great question, but I can only speak for me. I've done and I'm continuing to do the self work within myself to see what I like, what I don't like. I know my love languages. I know my love language is quality time, words of affirmation, and physical touch. Physical touch is last. You know, I'm not tripping off of that. I really don't care about gifts. I'll give you gifts, but things come and go. But as long as I have time with you, I can, you know. But if a woman chooses me, I can see everybody. Yeah, you're gorgeous, you're fine, you bad, but look what I got. You know what I mean? I can honestly say I feel like I'm mature enough. I've done that when I was a teenager. I've done that when I was in my 20s. Everybody think we grown. We're in our teenagers phase or in our 20-year-old. Like, I'm grown. I can do what I want to do. You can, but you're really mature and you're grown when you have the options and you can be like, but I choose you. So if a lady can come to me, it's like, because I already know on me, I'm going to choose you. Everybody else is like, hey, how you doing, sis? I put you in the sister zone quick than the mud, because I'm not finna let anybody make her look bad. Ever. That's just me. And sometimes men and women, it's like, all right, because if they don't hold themselves like with any value and they allow themselves to be spread out with anybody else, that person will always have a one-up on the person that you're with. And I will never let somebody do that to somebody I'm with.
Sometimes they don't even need to be the sis or the bro. Sometimes they just gotta go, because, you know, can they be respectful to your partner?
That part. So if a lady decides, if I decide to be with somebody and they can choose me for real, man, she'll have the entire world.
and reciprocity, you choosing
Absolutely.
them, that alignment, that literally.
That's that yin and yang.
It's the yin and yang.
Yeah. I look at relationships different, G. I like to talk to old folks. I love to talk to old folks.
That's one of my favorite things to do. To answer the question, for me, it's to be chosen. It feels nice always. It can be kind of I don't want to say scary, but like I have to be careful with it, because I'm real, like one of my love languages is one of my main love languages is physical touch, and I'm also like I try to go out of my way. I go out of my way to be respectful. So I'm like I'm opening doors and doing all that extra like chivalry stuff. So it's like it can quickly like feel like it's something. I'm trying to like be respectful with my words. So it can like quickly feel like it's more than it is, and so like it's happened before where it's like she's starting to choose me, and it's like it's dope, and I like this, and I kind of feel like I want to choose you too, but I'm not. And not because like I don't.
That's why it's important.
Not because I don't. But I'm just like I don't know if I'm like if that's what I want to do yet, or if like I have the time to commit to like fully only choose you. You know what I mean? And also, I behave that way like no matter who I'm spending time with. You know what I mean? So I have to like be careful to where it's like it's not like
Do you communicate that to the person?
Yeah, I never
being
lie.
clear about
I
it.
feel like the worst thing you could do is like take away somebody's ability to make a choice. So I always tell people exactly what I'm doing. So to answer that question, yes, I always communicate exactly what I'm doing. Yes.
So is it fear?
And that's fair.
Is it what?
Is it fear?
Fear of?
If somebody's choosing you and you like, oh shit, I don't necessarily know if I'm ready to choose you back. Like,
Some people choose really quickly. Some people choose within a week or two. He might need a few more months, different life situations. It could just be like, I want to get to know you a little bit longer. And I'll say I can kind of relate because I have had very long-term relationships, 7 years, 8.5 years. And once you're with someone like for that long, it's kind of, and you've been married, so it's kind of like, we know that people change. We're always changing, always evolving. So I think like, depending on your life experience, you may not fall in love after a week. You might just be like, I need 3 months, 6 months. And maybe it's not a certain time frame, but you understand the importance of getting to know someone and trying to vet them a little bit.
I feel that. I guess I'm just only speaking from my own personal. Like, I understand that when you're in a relationship, whether a friendship, relationship, intimate, whatever, you're going to constantly get to know somebody because we're always growing and evolving. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. I'm always choosing. If I decide and it's mutual, everybody else is.
But just because I think the point I'm trying to make is that just because someone chooses you, it's flattering, but it doesn't always mean that you're choosing them. You might be like, you know what, you are a friend. I don't see you that way, even though you're attracted, even though you like that I'm a gentleman, even though you love that, you can call me and talk to me about anything. I don't feel the same about you.
Yeah.
No, I get that too. And
Or maybe and like I said, y'all kind of killed me for it just a minute ago when I said it. Or maybe I'm starting to feel that way, but I don't know yet. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe like I've done this before, and it didn't work out the best for me. So yeah, I do feel this way, and I'm kind of right there with you, but I need to make sure that this is really what it is for me.
Yeah, and I think it's just communicating that, like Stephanie asked if you do, like communicating that, and also is that person in a space to hear what you like are saying? Because I've been like, someone's like, oh, I'm not ready for a relationship, but I want to be in myself wants to be in a relationship, and at that time and space, I'm like, I'm someone who's like, I'm gonna get what I want. And I'm not necessarily hearing the person, but they're opening doors for me, and we're going on dates, and they're treating me a certain way. So I'm taking all that good character part, and then I'm like and then my emotions, kind of get in the mix. And I've been in a space where I wasn't able to differentiate, or to really hear what that person is saying, because it's like, you're not ready to choose me. However, you were doing X, Y, and Z with each other, so it's like you're choosing me, but you're not ready to. So then it becomes a little like confusing, I guess, or there's this gray area, and I've experienced where I wasn't in a space to hear that because of the actions. So like I hear your words, but like I'm focusing on your actions or the way they're making me feel, and I'm also, growing and learning to
that's cool.
not always believe my feelings, or like to know discernment, to have discernment. I think that's something I'm continuously praying about is discernment, is to know, like, yes, I feel this way, but my feelings aren't always like true. And that's to say, like, the person saying I'm not ready to be with you, they're showing you that these things that you want, or that it's like, it's like they want to be with you. So it does get a little.
Respectfully, is that like a man versus woman thing?
Women are emotional, and that's why I think it's so important to have that conversation and to communicate. And I don't want to say based on being a man. It could be either gender, because some women are like, I don't want a relationship, I just want sex. So I think it's fair to say both, but it's very important to have that conversation. And I think even more importantly, if you're really grown, because we are all grown, and if you're really evolved and you see that you don't want somebody that way, and you know that they're looking for something, I think it's responsible to not even have sex with them.
Yeah, I think that's where boundaries come in, about the boundaries, and I'm still learning about boundaries, learning where to place them, how to place them, who to place them with, how to be honest about that, like looking within myself and being like, I'm doing a lot of reflection, and so it's just looking inward and being like, oh, that wasn't the best way I could have handled that. this is the boundary that needs to be tied to that so that I can move better and navigate better with it. So I think that's where boundaries come in play, and the communication and just being as honest with someone as you can.
And respectfully, we know everybody ain't honest, but using your own discernment, like, look at those red flags. Just look at them. Just read into them. Trust your gut.
May I ask a question? Yeah, it's based off of high key, which I was just saying. When you're saying one thing, but you're seeing the actions, right? Mm-hmm. Those are completely two conflicting things.
Actions are everything.
Okay, that's okay.
That's what I look at. I don't care what you say, because you know what?
Yeah.
A lot of people show up as their representative. The first 30 days, their best self. The first 90 days, it's a facade. So you have to use discernment.
Probation period.
It truthfully, yes. So, yeah. I use your own discernment.
Yeah, and just what he was talking about, he's like, just the good characteristics of you as a man. You open those doors. You I guess can be polite, just the way you speak to women. And again, women can take that as like, take that to like an emotional level, and like this is what they're looking for. So it's like oh, I want that, and you're the person that I want that with. But you're really saying,
and you just want that.
Yeah. And
well, let me ask y'all a question, because have any of you guys ever been on a date, like a first date, even a second date, where someone has said, just came and confessed and just opened up about all of their flaws? All the things that are wrong with them?
On a first date, no.
all of it?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, have you been on a date where someone is like, okay, yeah, I'm great here, now, but this is why I lack. Have you ever had a person fully express all of the things that they think are, not all, but a few of the things that they think are bad about themselves in a relationship?
Is it wrong if they do?
It's not wrong if they do. I'm asking, have you ever had that happen?
An early date, one of the earlier dates, yeah, not on a first date, no.
Okay.
I've experienced a first date where literally this man was getting phone calls from whoever was babysitting his kids, and then he's just sitting there like, why do I have all these kids? They're breaking all the damn things in my house. Like, I should, and then he's like, I should be married. He's like, I should be married right now. And like, he's like, I'm opening up this business and it's just not going right. So he's like expressing himself and like where he thinks he should be, what he thinks he shouldn't have done. And I sat there, I was like, this is a therapy session. I'm here as a vessel to listen to you at this point. This date can end as quickly as like I can go home and I'm good.
Oversharing.
So I wouldn't say that, like I think I've just experienced someone kind of opening up in a way where it's like they're showing or like expressing what would be considered flaws, but not necessarily like, oh, this is where I'm flawed in and this.
And I just asked that question because like you said, like the chivalry and everything, a lot of men will do that. A lot of people will be on their best behavior in the beginning, and then it could be 3 weeks later, and I swear, because I've experienced it, they stop opening the door. They're just like, get in the car, so it's like, show up as who you are the entire time. Let me just say, don't get me hooked on a vibe that you can't maintain. So
there it is there. And see, I was gonna ask, like, and with that, is it like, for women, is the bar like really low? Because I feel like for me, like if I don't know, like I appreciate a woman that's like that's well spoken or like well kept or like whatever, but it's like if I go on a date and you check all those boxes, that doesn't mean I'm gonna be like oh my God, she's so amazing, like, you know what I mean? That's like, so I'm asking, like, just because like a guy is like well spoken or like, and again, I wasn't saying those things to like put myself on a pedestal. I don't think that's like these make me this amazing guy. I think it's like this is what. Yeah, this is how men should behave. You know what I mean? And so I say that to say, like, is the bar kind of low? Like,
I don't think the bar is kind of low. My bar is not low at all, but I think, and like I said, people show up with a representative. A lot of people tend to show up as a representative of whoever it is that they want to be. And it's like, it's cool if you do that. Those are things that women like and we appreciate. So like, don't do it just to try to impress me for whatever your agenda is. Like, if that's not who you are, then don't open the door from the first day. Let me get my own door.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now,
which I don't want to do, but
if that's the case, but if that's the case, and he just comes out and tell you that, is that wrong?
No,
that's helpful.
I appreciate honesty. I respect. I always tell people, I'm not here to judge you. Whoever you are is who you are. Just like you can put women in the friend zone. I have lots of men in friend zones right now. And it's only if they can still be respectful. Like, look, we're not gonna cross that line, and this is what it is. Be respectful, and they have to have good character enough for me to even want to be their friend.
I feel that.
You know,
but still, that kind of go with the first question I asked: is it wrong if they do that? If they know?
No, I just appreciate like just being who you are.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, I date different levels of people. You know, some people could be a little ratchet. I could be a little. I'm Bougetto, okay? So that doesn't really matter to me. You know, just be who you are, and then I can make an honest decision. And I think that goes both ways. Just show up as who you are. If you want to have sex, have sex. If you don't want to have sex, just communicate what it is. Maybe you do want a relationship, but you do want to have sex. Communicate both. You know, but I'm just in a space where I feel like being responsible, making sure that, you know, whoever it is that I'm going to be intimate with is like being 100% honest with me about it too. And if I don't feel that, women want to feel, I'll speak for women, well, not all women, but a lot of women want to feel safe, stable, and secure with you. And that can be on any level. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean you have to be in a relationship. It's just like, hey, I know that you want to have sex. This is where you are right now. And then I can make the choice. And I guess I can say that, you know, about men too. Like, you want to know what you're getting into. You should care. You should care because, again, you can develop a stalker or a crazy person. So you should care.
And I guess I was asking because I've done that before. Like, I've taken the time out to know the praises of me and the flaws of me. So it's like, yo, this is who I am. You gonna see me out. I'm always talking to folks. I love people genuinely, but this is who I am, and I'm giving this to you. This is the information that,
and that's respected. Self-awareness, accountability, acknowledgement, all that is respected, especially if you share that with the other person. Like,
but this is the weird part. I guess whoever I've been talking to, it's always, you don't have to tell me all of that so fast. I would rather tell you because I've done the work and I'm giving you an option to deal with, because I don't want to waste your time and I don't want you to waste mine. We can be friends and can continue the time, or you can lie to yourself and we can try to build something, and then next thing you know, you're like, I don't want to deal with you, Sean. Now you wasting my time.
That person's not for you. You guys are not aligned because you want someone that's going to appreciate your honesty and your transparency. And so it just sounds like that person wasn't like really for you.
You don't gotta share all that so quick. So then when is a good time for them?
Because I personally like a person like that considers my feelings. If if I haven't talked to you in a day or two, you know what? I respect you if you're like, hey, I've been working, I've been doing this. It's like, you don't have to tell me all your business, but you care enough to let me know so that my mind is not wondering. Like, you care, you're considerate enough. And not saying that my mind wonders like that all the time, but that's just showing that somebody actually cares. Like, they're really pouring into you. Like, look, I want you to feel confident, secure, and safe with me in this space. So just know, because I'm out here meeting and greeting and talking to people when I'm doing shows, it doesn't mean that I want them. This is just a part of who I am, and I'm connected, but I care enough about you to make sure that you don't feel uncomfortable. That's dope. That's dope. Like, a lot of people don't do that. There's just like, I'm gonna move how I want to move, and you can, but and there's nothing wrong with that either. But like, a lot of respect has to be given to a person that considers your feelings.
And there's also a way to say, like I kind of feel like this is kind of what you were saying. There's a way to say, I'm gonna move how I'm gonna move. Like you saying, like, this is like, I'm out doing shows. This is part of my personality. I'm friendly. I'm an extrovert. That's saying, this is how I move, and I'm not gonna stop. But you didn't just come out, I'm gonna move how I move, get with it, or you know what I'm saying? There's a way to exactly. There's a way to say. There's a way to communicate everything.
Your approach is everything.
Yeah,
I'm definitely learning that too. Because it's like, what you say, how you say it, and who you're saying it to, and again, the value that you see in that person, and also like within yourself, like how are you speaking to someone? So I think that's important.
I've been It hasn't been like a super big issue, but I've been like dealing with like frustration with I'm communicative, and I'm like, I don't hide anything. I say exactly what I'm doing and how I'm feeling and what I'm about to do. And so if there's some confusion in there, it's like, why is like, where do we go from here? Like, what is there? There's not really much to talk about, because I've told you exactly like who I am and what I'm going to do. And I don't mind having that conversation on a first date. I know some people don't, so I'm not trying to force that, but if it happens, it happens. So like, I'm going to tell you exactly like who I am, what I do, how I move, all of that. You know what I'm saying? So if it becomes an issue, it's like, okay, then there's only one place to go from here. You know what I mean?
And everyone's just not aligned. Sometimes it's just not your partner. It's not the person. It's okay.
Exactly.
Be you, do you, respectfully. And if they, can appreciate that, then y'all rock. If they can't, then y'all roll, right? I don't know where I'm going. It's the wine today. It's the glasses, actually. It's the sunglasses. I'm just kidding.
So moving on to one of our next topics. Are we responsible for the way we make people feel?
The mature self, the mature person is considerate, they're honest, and they'll say what, they'll try to handle with care. But sometimes how people feel is their projection, how they receive, and sometimes it has nothing to do with us. Yeah. Not just my opinion on that.
I asked because it really didn't it wasn't like a relationship like kind of like question. It's actually a friend of mine. She's vegan, and she like early on like I followed her on Instagram first, and we were working together like when I was vegan and like moving in like in that circle. I'm not vegan anymore, but like, and she still is. She is, and she's like from what it used to seem like, she was like someone that was trying to like encourage other people to be vegan. I guess it was my mistake in like further conversation with her. That's not what she's doing. She's just like, I'm vegan. She's telling me like I'm vegan and trying to connect with the other vegans. I thought she was trying to like make other people be vegan. And then she did one of those like not gonna lie things on her Instagram story, right? And somebody said in there, it was like, I think like your message and like the way you live your life is dope, but you come across like really like condescending sometimes, and like it makes me like kind of like turns me off from you at times. And she said in there, she was like, I'm intentional with my words, and I know what I say. Like if you're offended by it, then that's your issue. And I was like, I'm like, you said you're intentional with your words, and someone's telling you that they were, you know what I mean? So I was like, and then I asked her, I was like, well, aren't you trying to like get other people to like kind of like live the life, like the vegan life like you? She's like, no, I'm trying to connect with other people that are also vegan. I was like, oh, okay, well, if you don't care how you make people feel, then live your life. And she was like, I'm not saying I don't care, but if you feel a way, then let's figure out like maybe like you feel a way about your life and like how you feel that way. I was like, I don't know if that's really the way to look at that. So I thought it'd be a good thing to talk about.
I don't know that that's really her responsibility. Your vibe attracts your tribe, and just like she said, like, I'm here to connect with people that are already on the same path and journey. So that's one person out of however many followers and people that she's shooting a message to. I think that the response, could be, you can handle a response with care. I'm sorry, my intention is not to make you feel or anyone feel any type of way. However, these are my feelings. This is my perspective, and it's not like she intentionally went to go like attack that person. So I think that like she has her audience and whoever it is that she connects with, and they respect and appreciate her, and they support, they like, comment, subscribe. So we can't please we can't please everyone, especially if she wasn't intentionally being rude, like trying to attack that person. Mm-hmm. So that's basically how they received it.
I was just something like. And she and shout out to her because she watches my content. Always tells me like that she's gonna see this and know like something I'm talking about her. So shout out to her. But so let's say like, so for example, I'll take it off of like veganism and all that. So let's say like, for example, like with you, let's say like you're like beauty and skincare and all that, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say you're promoting like some like natural like skincare or whatever, right? And you say something like, all right, y'all can keep putting that toxic stuff in y'all face if y'all want to, but this is the real stuff y'all need to be using. And this is like constantly the message like over and over. Mm-hmm. It could come across as like you're being judgmental or like putting down people that don't know the right stuff to use or whatever. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like how she would like go about like, you know what I mean?
It's just the way that she markets. I know a lot about marketing. And some people, you really just want to speak to your target audience. Everybody's not included, so you can't really focus on that. She's talking to the people who want natural and, should avoid using products. I've actually used that tactic before. And, I didn't have anybody come on my post that blatantly told me that they felt the way, I'm sure that maybe they did, but I'm not really speaking to you. I'm speaking to the people that want to follow my message. And so she's actually promoting a business, which I think is different than like speaking to someone one-on-one and like personally coming at them. So that's just not their message. They need to go find the person that still uses Dove on their face, since we're using skincare, talk about skincare, and just do you. It ain't me. I can't. It's not me.
Don't do it.
Go use Dove. Don't use Dove on your
Don't
face.
do it.
I know I really got like men, like not really so much anymore, but like really like dudes really be like shooting at me when I be trying to like just like give like skincare, like big like beard.
Dudes be shooting at him anyway. For your opinions, dudes be coming at you.
I be like, fam, like relax. Like I'm just trying to be helpful. Like, you know what I mean?
So you've experienced it yourself, right? I've literally seen a post, and I think we messaged about it as well. You have been attacked for your opinion and your perspective, and it's like, did you take the post down? Did you?
No.
Okay. You went and you explained, and you had a little empathy for that person. I think that's the thing, and it's all how you handle it. If someone actually comes to you and approaches you and tells you that they feel a way, I think, we can be empathetic and like be sensitive, but they're not really your target audience. I'm not gonna keep going back and forth every time I post something, but hey, that wasn't the message I was trying to send. I apologize if you feel that way or whatever, if you want to do that. But I think we can just handle a little empathy. So you don't have to over explain. But you've been there. I've seen it.
And I'm guilty of over explaining for sure.
Yeah.
I definitely am.
I mean, I am too. So, but that's because you care. So we're not responsible for how for the way that we make people feel, but we can be responsible in how we handle their feelings.
Right.
If that makes
Well said.
sense.
Yeah,
Well said.
I agree. You can definitely like hold yourself responsible for the way people may react to a certain post or your opinion, because I guess talking about social media, when you do put your opinion out there, or just trying to help someone with skincare, with beard care, whatever it may be, and however they hear that or however they react to it, that's not our responsibility. It's more so they can do with the message what they want. They can take what you're saying and use it for their beard and to better it, and use it for their skin to make it better. But if they're just like, no, I don't like what you said and how you said it, then and not take what you said into and actually use that, then again, it's like not your responsibility.
Because think about this, even that one person that messaged your friend, if she changed her message for that one person, there's gonna be 5 more people that are gonna come back and be like, I didn't like that message.
Yeah.
So it's just all about how the approach is and when you respond, I guess. I think that matters the most.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta have tact with anything you do. And again, it goes in. I thought she was trying to encourage other people to live, and she's like, "No, that's not what I'm doing." And so, and I think if the goal were to encourage people to live a certain way or to do a certain thing, I think you would go about it in a more like gentle manner. You know what I mean?
But she can't appeal to everyone. She's appealing to one audience.
Right. Yeah. But okay.
Think about dating. So I know we're not talking about dating, but like when you're dating one person, or you're looking for a certain type of person, woman, you're not going to try to appeal to everybody because you don't like everybody. You don't like city girl. I don't want to say that. There's a certain type of lady that you may not like, that might not be your interest. So you're not going to be out here like flashing money,
right.
The rings, the diamonds,
right.
the Bugatti. You're not going to do that because that's not who you are.
Right.
So I think I respect anybody that stays true to themselves, but has tact. She's not trying to appeal to everybody. Not to appeal to everyone.
Yeah. As long as you're responsible, again, with your words and not trying to beat people down or really or be condescending or, make it seem, or just be like ruthless with your word and your message. I think we've all sat here and talked about being intentional and, you're not for everybody and everybody's not for you. Your message may not be for everybody. So it's your approach, how you say it, and being responsible with what you receive. And again, people can do the whole back and forth thing, or like take down their message, or just try to word things differently to appeal to this person and that person. But
I see stuff all the time I don't agree with on social media, or just, even in conversation, and it's just like, okay, that's your opinion. So everybody is different. Like, there's people like us who could just scroll on by and don't care, and then there's people that are like, you said that. So, and it just depends. In that situation, it's business, so it could be the marketing tactic, guerrilla marketing, whatever she's trying to do. But again, it's just a response, and keep it pushing. There's also a block button. Unfollow, unsubscribe. You don't gotta follow.
Mute.
I mute. Snooze and mute? Girl. Snooze and mute are my friends. And block. My block hand is strong.
So with like making people feel a certain way and like them thinking a certain thing about us or feeling a certain way about us, are we how do you determine like when to clear up like a false narrative or like a lie about you, as opposed to like just like letting people think what they want to think and just moving forward with life?
I think it depends on the circle that I'm in, or whatever, if it's going to affect something that I'm involved in. Also, if, it's someone that I consider a friend, a loved one, someone I care about. If it's a stranger on the internet, I'm pretty nice. So I'm a little sassy, but I'm always nice. I try to be kind, so I would try to handle that with care personally. But when you reach a certain level, like Rihanna and Beyonce, you can't be in the you can't, So I think it just depends. But if someone actually reaches out to me and they're like in their emotions and their feelings, then I guess I would try to clear it up a little bit, but it depends on how open-minded they are, because really it's something that they've internalized, nothing that I intentionally did or tried to like hurt them. So, I don't know how far that's going to really go, with someone that's messaging you about what they feel about whatever it is that you said. If that makes sense.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring both of these in together real quick. I think you aren't responsible for the way somebody feel, but you actually are, but you're not. So if you offend somebody and they bring it back to you, and it's like, well, this is what my intentions were, and they still have an issue with it, then it's off of you. Like, bro, that's on you then. I already tell you who I was. Now, and that kind of weaves into what we're talking about now. If you got your tribe and everybody knows how you actually move and you rock, I'm ignoring you, moving on. You know what I mean? Like, that's just me. I try not to offend, but if you're offended, I'll acknowledge it. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I know me, and the folks that know me too. They know my intentions. They know my heart. So the truth gonna always come out. The truth gonna always come out, bro. So I look at it like, if somebody has an issue or they lying or whatever, and you know that's not you, man, I ain't finna waste my time to suffice what you would. Nah, not at all.
And I also think that's you being confident in yourself and knowing you as a person, and like you don't, like you guys have said, you're not saying things to offend anybody and being intentional about what you say. So there are definitely things, it's circumstantial, right? There are definitely things where you're like, no, that's not me. That's completely crazy. Who did you hear that from? And also, why are they so comfortable to like be saying that type of stuff about you? Like, I'm ignoring it, I'm moving on, because I'm not going to concern myself with things that literally, like, if I don't value that person's opinion, if I don't value that person in general, then it's just like, I'm going to be spending time and energy like trying to place value where I just don't see it. So for me, like, there are things that, I could definitely ignore and move on. And then again, how much do I value like someone who I'm like, no, I want to clear this up with you. This is important. It's important to you. If you can't, like, if you said, if they come to you and like tell you like, this is how it made me feel, or what you said made me look at you differently, it's like, okay, I can do the work, or I could put some work in, or at least further explain myself, because I value that person, one, coming to me, and two, just as a person. And so there are things I can ignore and like move on from, because I'm like, I'm not going to spend time and energy on that. And also, what? Like, where did you hear that from? Like, how that's, and again, you knowing yourself, your tribe knowing you, like, and two, yeah.
What about if this, like, what this person is saying, like, they have like, no, let me not say that. What if like what they're saying is it's spreading and it's growing, and it's like is getting to more and more people. And
Who's
this
it
is like,
spreading to and growing to, and like how's?
but does that matter?
And sometimes the way things spread is like folktale. It's like one person standing there telling you something, and then that message can come, like, you know, be translated or like in different ways, or the context of it, and however again someone's taking it. They could be like, oh, did you know so and so, and then, oh, did you know this is like what happened? It's like, why do you guys have time to be talking about
That part. Like, I'm doing me. Respectfully.
But yeah, it's just irrespectfully, yeah. And it's just, people can take things out of context depending on how it makes them feel, or if they're offended by it, or again, like, makes them feel some type of way.
And misery loves company. Sometimes a bunch of people spreading rumors, it's like they just enjoy that. Like you said, they have nothing else better to do.
Yeah.
So if it's so big that it spirals out of control and you have to address it, then address it. But like, what more can you do? You're not gonna keep like making videos, constantly calling people like over and over.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do, especially if it's untrue.
Yeah.
But if everybody's having a certain type of experience or something specific, then it might not be a lie. It may not be a lie, and then at that point you may need to realize you need to check something yourself.
Yeah.
So,
Because again, it's like, one, who's saying all these things? Like, who's that person to you, and how, again, can you fix it for yourself? I think at the end of the day, for me, it's like, what's going to bring me peace? Like, how am I going to be at peace with, I guess, one, caring or being concerned about what people say, and then two, also taking the time and energy and effort to like clear it up and to make sure, like, no, this is what it is, this is who I am, and if you're questioning that still, like, then again, we're just not, it's not there.
okay, like, do you rock with me or you don't?
Yeah.
Like, you know, totally.
Yeah, I rock with that. I think it's more. I think it's more beneficial to choose that route rather than trying to like address and dispel and trying to like, it's okay. Who are you? What are you saying? And like, where's it? What is this like? What you're saying? What is it gonna do to like? You know what I mean? Once it hits whoever it hits, what is this really gonna do? Yeah, I try to. Yeah.
Can't please everybody. Can't.
Please that?
So you can't please everyone. So, you know. But self-inventory checks are healthy. So make sure that you're still like a good person, good character, and some of the things, you know, are they true? I think that you can check yourself too. So if there's some truth to it, then also kind of check that too for your personal growth, and you know.
That's actually a big help for me. That's a big help because I get like when I deal with things, whether it's like a disagreement with someone or like a falling out or whatever is going on, I tend to like internalize it and like feel like I did something to cause this, you know what I mean? And so like I try to like, you know, just check the receipts of everything that's happened and be like, okay, like why did all these things happen? Like, yeah, I've been a part of all these things. Because it's easy for me, I'm always like, all right, I'm the common denominator here, so it must be something I did, you know what I mean? But once I like go through each line of the receipt of all these things that have happened, it's like, okay, like I'm not the cause of this, and I'm not the biggest reaction to it either. And so it's like, this ain't really anything that I need to be too overly concerned or worried about. So I can move. I can dead this move forward.
And I would go as far as to say, like, I like what you just said, because especially when you're dealing with somebody like one-on-one, and I hate to bring back relationships, but if a person's always saying like everything is your fault, and it's just, oh, you do this, you do that, then they might have some trauma that they need to heal from, and you just might need to walk away.
Yeah.
So
That's real.
yeah, it just depends on the situation. If it's strangers online, it's different. If it's someone that, like you said, like you actively, like they mean something to you, they're a friend, a lover, whatever, then consider that. But like, I guess it just depends on the situation, you know.
Yeah.
Who it is.
Y'all good?
What you gotta say, Sean?
I'm listening.
I felt like he was about to say
No, I'm
something too.
listening because I agree with all of you guys. I agree with all of y'all. Like I'm just listening. I'm like, okay, I can attest to that. All right, I'm doing that as well. So,
You ever had to deal with it?
I'm like, all right, cool.
I do, because I just want to grow. I just want to be the best version of myself, and I'll never be before I leave this earth. None of us will, but we can actively be responsible and the person that we want to be to others, because life is bigger than us. It's not just us. We don't just live for us. We do, but we don't. You know, there's people all around us that we work with that we have to be cordial to, considerate of. You know, our family, our friends, people that look up to us. So I think it's very important to spend time on personal development of yourself and check yourself. And if people keep saying the same things about you, then maybe they're right. And it's okay to like admit that. It's okay to check yourself and to grow from that. And, you know, a lot of people, they want to stay the same or they don't care, but the ones that want to mature, they're going to do that work. They're going to take the time and say, you know what, I was wrong. And sometimes it doesn't happen in that moment when someone's saying it to you. It might be a month from now, a year from now. You're like, you know what? I'm glad I grew from who I used to be, because I've grown from my 20s. The person I used to be is not the person I am today.
Right.
You know, some forms of her are still here. You know, they could pop off at any moment, but it's kind of like, you know, it's just I have other things that other sides that I want to show to the world. So.
Yeah, that's self accountability. You know. But I think we all got a dual side. I think we all know we can get a little bit ratchet. We can get a bit whatever we want to be. You know what I mean? But when you kind of grow up, it's like, I choose to do this, but the other side is always there.
Always ready.
Always.
You know what I'm talking about.
Always ready. But it's like, nah.
For sure. For me, when I look at like, I don't want to make it sound like I'm like this like overly evolved person, but like when I look at like some of like the ways I've evolved and like some of the growth that I've made over the years, it's kind of surprises me at times. Not that it's like this like overly like positive thing. I'm not saying that like I'm this like amazing person, but it's like some of the things that have happened and like some of like the growth that I've made, I was like, I wouldn't have thought or imagined that I'd kind of be here at this point.
Then you are an amazing person.
Yeah, I was like, you're probably
Don't dumb
more
that
amazing.
down.
Yeah.
Because you have a choice. I can do this and I can stay right here, or I can see the issue and I want to grow. And when you see the issue, what you're seeing is stuff from your parents. Usually it's like, all right, I've seen this. This was in my lineage. I don't want to do this anymore. Or, you know what I mean? Because if you don't, you're going to continue going through them same old lessons. You're like, why the hell am I doing this? Because you choosing not to grow. You feel me? So, nah, bro, you're amazing by seeing the issues and you want to level up.
It's like you're saying to your past self, like, dang, I've grown. Like, I'm this amazing person compared to, or not compared to, but from how I was previously. So give yourself your flowers.
And then like, we always say our elders are stuck in their ways, you know, like those generational curses.
Literally stuck.
Like, stuck. So any work you do on yourself right now is like to be commended for sure.
Do you guys have those kind of, I keep feeling like I'm finna get out of here. We keep bumping into good topics. Do you guys ever have those conversations with the elders in your life about like like some like their perspectives or like the way like they did things as you were coming up and like the way you see things now and how different it is?
I don't think I necessarily have the conversations, but for me, I definitely understand. I try to understand, especially my mom the most. With my mother the most, it's like there's a lot of things I didn't understand when I was younger, and now that I'm older, I'm like, okay, I get it. I see and I understand because of the history and how it repeats itself. I think society today, especially with my generation and the generation that's to come after, like we're bigger. We really want to change and break the generational curses. We really want to do the self-development. So I think that, you know, we still have the understanding of the limitations maybe that our, you know, elders have had, but like for us, we're just trying to, we're looking at things differently, completely. Like we're not shoving shit under the rug. We're not hiding abuse. We're talking about it.
Yeah.
We're talking about the things that traumatize us as children as well, because we just want to be a higher form of ourselves. We don't want to work 40, 50, 60 hours a week. You know, we really value self-care. And I think some of our elders may think, oh, you're lazy. And it's like, nah, we just don't want to live that life stressed out, can't see the world, can't travel, can't have, our partner and be a family person. The things that matter to us, have time with our friends, because our friends become our family as well. They're very important. So I think that, we're just looking at life a little bit differently. But respectfully, I do understand. I do.
I love talking to older people. They just hold so much wisdom, and even if you don't agree with it, you just, you could literally see where you could break a cycle, or you could break a pattern where it's like they can respond or say things based on, again, how they were taught or how they grew up, or how open they could be with what they feel or what they've experienced. And so I think it's beautiful when you speak to older people, and it's just like they're funny, like they're stuck in their ways. So then it's literally like you hear it, like but a lot of wisdom comes from it. And I think that's why, like, where I come from, like, we hold our elders to such, we put them on a pedestal, and we value their opinion, we value what they say, and especially because for the most part they're always trying to teach you, even though it may not seem like, come across like that, but you learn from them, you learn from what they've experienced. And again, it's like how you take it. So yeah, you asked about speaking with older people, and for me, I gain wisdom, again, whether I agree with it or not. It's like I can use that somewhere, or I could see, like, again, why they are the way that they are, why they think the way that they think, or their opinion on, like, a lot of things. Yeah, just their opinions on things. Yeah. It's funny. They're funny.
Hilarious, girl. I'm cracking up.
They're hilarious.
Older people is the best. The best.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think we're good there. I think that was our last topic for you. I appreciate you guys all coming for episode 4. We had a good topic. You know what I'm saying? The wine was flowing. Everybody had a good, you guys have a good time? Everybody good? Yeah, for sure.
I definitely enjoyed just being here. Like I said, I thanked you for this opportunity, and I don't know what that meant to you, because it's like, I don't know if you get that often, but I'm a new mama. Like, I have a 10-month son, and so it's just like I'm getting back into the world of being around adults, and I just started work after a year of maternity leave, so it's like I'm around, people that aren't like little things crawling around. And so,
good
not
for
a little baby. He's my little baby. But no, I appreciate this conversation, and just sitting here this whole time made me think about a book that I often go back to, and it's called Forgiving What You Can't Forget, and it's by Lisa TerKeurst, and there's Christian references to it. But just the whole conversation, there's a thing in the book where she talks about collecting, connecting, and correcting. So our whole conversation is just about being responsible with how we speak, like anything from sex, or just just relationships in general. It just made me think about that. We collect our experiences, you connect it to why you are the way you are, how you think, or just like you as a person, and you work on correcting it. Like, we all literally sat here and said we are working on ourselves, however you said it, in whatever way you said it. And to me, that was just really beautiful. So I appreciate you all in your conversation. You collect, you connect, and you correct, because we're all just trying to be better versions of ourselves. Like 100%. So
It's like our last topic. At what point do you forgive? And we said don't forget, but you can forgive for yourself. That was dope. Thanks for sharing. I'm going to check that book out.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Forgive but not forget.
Everybody share your Insta, your social medias, your websites. If you haven't, everybody go shout that out. We'll start right here with Steph. Go ahead.
I have 2 websites or 2 social media handles. Formula Skin Lab, SD, if you're looking for skincare, wellness, you can check us out there. We service men and women. And then if you just want to follow the lifestyle, the extraness, you can follow Blossom with Steph J.
Go ahead, Sean.
Man, I got a lot of them. So I'm a singing barber, so you can follow me at Sean Chris the Barber, SHAWN, Chris the Barber. You can follow myself and my brother Evan Spalding at Sessions at the Shop. We have a live show once every quarter, so our next live show will be in June. Yeah, go follow the Instagram and go follow our YouTube. Yeah, sis.
My Instagram and my only social media is Amarie G, and that's on Instagram.
Michael Flicks on all social media, Flicks Media Network on YouTube. MichaelFlicks.com is the website. Appreciate y'all.
Most importantly, wait. Why you always whining
Yeah,
on
there you go.
Instagram? Check out our podcast, okay?
always whining?
Why you always
whining?
whining?
Why you always whine and then the letter N.
Yeah.
That's right.
Let's
Right.
do a quick cheers.
Cheers
Cheers
to the air in my glass.
to the
Hey, hey.
whining and